Peace be upon you, Fatima. I replied, upon you be peace. Then he said, I feel weakness in my body. I said, may Allah protect you from weakness, father. He said, Fatima, please bring me the Yamni cloak and cover me with it. So I brought the Yamni cloak and covered him with it. Then I looked at him and I saw his face was shining with a full moon with its glory and splendor. After a while, my son Hassan came in and said, peace be upon you, my mother. I replied, upon you be peace, O the light of my eyes and the delight of my heart. He then said, O mother, I smell the fragrance so sweet and so pure as that of my grandfather, the Prophet of Allah. I replied, yes, your grandfather is underneath the cloak. Hassan went near the cloak and said, peace be upon you, my grandfather, the Prophet of Allah. May I enter the cloak with you? He replied, upon you be the peace, my son, and the master of the fountain. You are given permission to enter. So Hassan enters the cloak with him. After a while, my Hussein came in and said, peace be upon you, mother. I replied, upon you be peace, O delight of my eyes and the delight of my heart. He then said, O mother, I smell the fragrance so sweet and so pure that of my grandfather, the Prophet of Allah. I replied, yes, your grandfather and your brother are underneath the cloak. Hussein stepped towards the cloak and said, peace be upon you, my grandfather, chosen of Allah. May I enter the cloak with you? He replied, upon you be the peace, my son, and the translator of my followers. You are given the permission to enter. So Hussein entered the cloak with them. After a while, Abul Hassan, Ali ibn Abi Talib came in and said, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Peace be upon you, O daughter of the Prophet of Allah. I replied, upon you be the peace, O father of Hassan and the commander of the faithful. He then said, O Fatima, I smell the fragrance so sweet and so pure as that of my brother and my cousin, the Prophet of Allah. I replied, yes, it is underneath. Yes, he is underneath the cloak with his two sons. So Ali went near the cloak and said, peace be upon you, Prophet of Allah. May I enter the cloak with you? He replied, upon you be the peace, my brother and my successor. My successor and the standard bearer, upon you are given the permission to enter. So Ali entered the cloak with them. Then I stepped forward and I said, peace be upon you, my father, O Prophet of Allah. May I enter the cloak with you? He replied, upon you be the peace, O my daughter. O part of myself, you are given the permission. So I entered the cloak with him. Getting together underneath the cloak, my father, the Prophet of Allah, held the two hands of the cloak and raised his right hand towards the heavens and prayed, O Allah, these are the people of my household. They are the confidants and my supporters. Their flesh is my flesh. Their blood is my blood. Whoever hurts them hurts me. Whoever displeases them displeases me. I am at war with those who are at war with them. I am at peace with those who are at peace with them. I am the enemy of their enemy and I am friend of their friends. They are from me and I am from them. O Allah, bestow your blessings, forgiveness and your pleasure upon me and them, and keep them away from impurities and keep them thoroughly purified. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Then the Lord Almighty said, O my angel, O resident of heaven, verily I have not created the erected skies, the stretched earth, the illuminated moon, and the bright sun, the rotating planets, the floating seas, and the sailing ships, but for the love of these five underneath the cloak. Gabriel, trusted angel, asked, who are under the cloak? The Almighty answered, they are the household of the Prophet and the asset of prophethood. They are Fatima, her father, her husband, and her two sons. Gabriel said, O Lord, may I fly to earth to be the sixth of them? Allah replied, yes, you are given the permission. Gabriel, the trusted, landed near them and said, peace be upon you, O Prophet of Allah. The All Highest conveys His peace on you and His greeting, and says, by my honor and glory, O my angels, O residents of heavens, verily I have not created the erected skies, the stretched earth, the illuminated moon, and the bright sun, the rotating planets, the floating seas, and the sailing ships, but for the sake of the love. And Allah has given me the permission to enter the cloak with you. May I join you, O Prophet of Allah? The Prophet replied, and peace be upon you, O trusted bearer of Allah's revelation. You are granted the permission. So Gabriel entered the cloak with us and said to my father, Allah sent His revelation to you. Verily Allah desires to keep you away from impurities, O the people of household, and keep you thoroughly purified. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Then Ali said to my father, O Prophet of Allah, tell me, what significance has Allah given for getting together underneath this cloak? The Prophet replied, by whom? With Him who rightfully appointed me as a prophet and chose me as the prophet for the revolution of the mankind. Whenever and wherever an assembly of our followers and friends mention this event, Allah will bestow on them His blessings and mercy. Angels will encircle them asking Allah's remission for their sins until the assembly disappears. So Ali said, verily by the Lord of Kaaba, we and our followers are the winner. Then my father replied, by Him who rightfully appointed me as a prophet and chose me a messenger for the salvation of the mankind. Whenever and wherever an assembly and followers and friends mention this event, there shall remain none grieved, but Allah will remove his grief. There shall remain none distressed, but Allah will dispel his distress. There shall remain none wish seekers, but Allah will grant his wish. Ali, peace be upon him, said, then we have won and attained the pleasure. I swear it by Allah. So have our adherers. They have won and attained the pleasure in this world and in thereafter. I swear by the Lord of the Kaaba. O Allah, send your blessings on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I'm going to request Brother Naim to please start today's lecture. But Kushnu